Is it alive there?
He does. He was all right, so
As he always does.
today we're going to talk about moles. This is one of those concepts that's like hard for kids to understand. I will try to explain it in a way that makes sense. So let's start with this.
Talking to an animal thing on your face.
Neither.
Is it long?
Medium. One page.
Can you talk when you write so I don't have to look?
Yours is quiet.
Okay.
Not quiet yet. Okay, so a mole you should think of as just a certain number of atoms. So it's just like a dozen is a certain number, and a score means 20, we don't use that much anymore. A ream of papers, 500 pages. A mole is a certain number, it's a specific number, right? It's a big number, but it's just a number. And so we came up with this number of atoms because it gives us a way to measure atoms. So let's think about this, right? If we look at the mass of one atom of carbon, right? One atom of carbon. It's about 2 times 10 to the minus 23 grams. So you can't deal with that on a scale, right? You can't put 10 to the minus 23 grams on a scale and detect it, because that's 0.000, 22 zeros, and then a 2. It's too small of a number. So you got to get enough atoms together to where it's detectable. You have a small amount in your hand and you can actually see it and you can measure it. So that's what a mole is. It's enough atoms that you can actually measure the amount. So, for example, 1 mole of carbon. No, I didn't. No. Thank you. No. 1 mole of carbon has a mass of 12 grams. So 12 grams you can actually notice, right? That's like the mass of like a couple of paper clips or maybe a pencil or something like that. It's small, but it's noticeable. And they came up with the number such that the mass in grams of 1 mole is the same number as the atomic mass on the periodic table. So it's really convenient. So you just look on the periodic table, atomic mass is 12 AMUs, so the mass of a mole is 12 grams. Does that make sense? Excellent. All right. So all you have to do with moles is know what the mass of a mole is. It doesn't even matter if you know how many atoms are in a mole. If you want to know, the number is 6.022 times 10 to the 23. Right? It's a lot of atoms. But it doesn't matter. You don't even have to deal with this number. All you have to know is what's the mass of 1 mole of something. Right? And so that's all you're going to get on the worksheet is problems like this. It'll say, what is the mass of 1 mole of, I don't know, helium? Still helium. And this is really simple. You're just going to look on the periodic table. You're going to find a number that's under helium, which is 4.
Okay.
It's like 4.00 something, so it's just 4. So 4. So if we put grams, that's the mass of 1 mole of helium, 4 grams.
Oh, so we basically, like, we just round up a number?
Yeah. And if I said, what's the mass of 3 moles of helium?
12.
12 multiplied by 3.
Kids really have a hard time with this.
The concept that it's a lot of atoms confuses people. Finding the mass is pretty easy. I might give you compounds in the worksheet today. Wait, did everybody write this in? Can I erase the top?
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's do 1 or 2 compounds. So let's say I said, what's the mass of 1 mole of CO2? So now you're going to look on the periodic table. You're going to find the mass of carbon. What's that?
12.
12. And then you're going to find the mass of oxygen.
Then add twice.
15.
16 actually, it's like 15.9999. So it's 16. We've got to multiply by 2 because there's 2 oxygens. So 32.
And then add them.
Add them together. 44 grams.
That's tough.
Wow, this is so hard. Wow. Actually, no, this is kind of really easy and it's irritating me.
Good. I could give you several moles of a compound. Like, let's say we have 6 moles of, I don't know, H2O, let's say. Okay. So now you got to find the mass of 1 mole of water, then multiply by 6. So for water, it's going to be, hydrogen is what?
1.
1, and there's 2 of them, so 2 grams plus what's oxygen? 16. So 16 and 2, that's 18. So you just take your number here,
Times 6.
times 6. 18 times 6, 108, right?
This is so easy. So I don't understand.
I don't know.
Chemistry.
It's one of those things that either clicks or it doesn't. I mean, defining the mass is pretty straightforward. The only thing that confuses people is, don't forget it. You're not confused, I don't want to make you confused. Questions? All right, good. We're done.